Well, I mean, I suppose really the thing to say is that, here we are together at the end of another year. And in the circumstances, I would say that it's no small thing to know and to be able to say that we are together. We happy few, we band of brothers and sisters and fellow time travellers. I say it's been a year unlike any I remember living through before. Strange years seem to follow strange years at the moment, but 2023 was, well, one of a kind, let's say. I have, at the moment, particularly acutely, a strange sense of being in limbo, a feeling of waiting, with my shoulders hunched as though ready to absorb another blow to the head. But it's also been a year of vital lessons learned, eye-opening lessons that, if for those who've been paying attention, have let us see more clearly than before. I would say it's as though we had cataracts removed from our eyes, letting in the light instead of the steady darkening greyness that was there before, that was preventing us from seeing what was right in front of us. This time, this space between Christmas and New Year is tailor-made for reflection, really. It's a time to take stock, to tally the accounts and whatever. And what I see most clearly is that, well, I say the foe, the enemy, those ranged against our way of life, our liberty and the rest, they're completely revealed now. The mask is off, and they've shown themselves for what they are. It's a bit like that. It's a bit like that bit in the movie where, the kidnapper takes the mask off and you think, oh, right, that's different. They don't care that we can see them. Which probably means they're going to kill us. But it's a bit like that. They don't seem to care that we can see them. I know that there's people listening to this all over the world. But, here in the UK, just as a for instance, we are misled really, by people we didn't vote for. We have wee Rishi Sunak as Prime Minister, wee Rishi in his tiny, tiny suit. We have Jeremy Hunt, no pun intended, as Chancellor. We've got David Cameron, another of the unflushables, a sometime Prime Minister. As far as I know, he was in a caravan somewhere writing his memoir, but he's back, installed as Foreign Secretary. And we had no say in any of that. We the people. We the electorate. Nowadays, the clowns just appoint each other. And I hate clowns. They have no legitimacy, these people squatting in the Palace of Westminster at the moment. They have no legitimacy, and, which is worse, they evidently don't care that we know they have no legitimacy. They don't care. They have nothing at all to give, and their eyes on everything they plan to take. They stand for nothing. No principles, no grand narrative. They stand for nothing except colluding in the asset stripping of everything they can see around them, to which they are demonstrably feel entitled to help themselves. These people are empty voids, hollow, sock puppets. They're utterly without substance. They are absences rather than presences, them and all their accursed kind. And if you needed to see how much they care about the people, consider the all but empty chamber for the debate about excess deaths. It's one example among many, but it's all you needed to see. People are dying by the thousands every week and have been for months and years, and they care not a jot. And so for them, there's no point even in acknowledging the ever-increasing numbers. A few thousand here, a few thousand there. What does it matter to them? Across the pond, across the Atlantic, in the United States, the death of democracy is complete. A Supreme Court in the state of Colorado ruled that former President Donald Trump was ineligible for the White House on account of the inverted commas insurrection. So they've declared him ineligible for the White House. And so His name has been removed from the states, from Colorado's primary presidential ballot. Trump is the most popular politician in America by a long way. He's the front runner in the race, and yet the people of Colorado have been told they may not vote for him. Not allowed. The Democrat White House has dispensed with the concept of democracy. I would say they are all but ordering the people of Colorado to vote for them or else. And all the while declaring that if a vote was held that enabled Donald Trump to get back into the White House, that would be the death of democracy. Oh, the irony. So the Republic has fallen. All of this, the nonsense of the compromised and corrupted parliamentarians here in the United Kingdom, the crushing, stifling of democracy in the United States, it's all symptomatic of the same disease with which we are collectively afflicted at the moment. The West is no longer even about pretending to seek and to listen to the will of the people. You know, Trump happened in 2016, Brexit happened in 2016, and as far as the people who want power are concerned, there's an end of it. If that's what the people are going to do when they're allowed to vote the way they want, well, that's got to be nipped. That's got to be cut off, strangled. And so now at the end of 2023, we see that the people, which is you and me, are only in the way of those who would take everything and leave us with nothing. There's no ideology out there beyond the ideology of the unfettered greed of the few. There's no longer any reasoned argument, any making of a case and putting it to the vote. You know, after some, where are we now, few centuries of the science, even the scientific method itself is corrupted beyond use. You know, they've lost patience with we, the pesky, questioning, thinking for ourselves, uncooperative, dissenting people. They've lost it with us. And so those who, by a process over decades, have taken possession of the institutions and of the political process, they have decided that they can simply tell us how it's going to be. You know, like it or lump it. And this is why all the silencing and censorship, the stifling of contrary voices, the insistence on the creation of, well, what are effectively versions of the Ministry of Truth, which was supposed to be a warning from George Orwell, but those in power are using 1984 as an instruction manual. And so now to dissent from the official line on jabs, on the scamdemic, on the climate crisis, so-called, on war in Ukraine, on war in Gaza, any dissent is to risk being treated as some sort of terrorist. It's to be a domestic terrorist, to disagree with the official line. While we were sleeping, the baddies set about making it illegal to disagree with them. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. It's being made illegal to disagree with them. There's no reasoned argument. There's no proof. There's no need to provide evidence of being right. Now, those who are the incumbents, those in power, simply decide for themselves what's right and then rub our faces in it. It has, I would say, it's all come round to a matter of belief at this holy time of year. Those in charge now demand that we believe them. Just believe them. Believe in them. As though they were little gods ruling by divine right. All the way back in 1882, Friedrich Nietzsche wrote about the death of God. Has it not become colder? Is it not more and more night coming on all the time? Do we hear anything yet of the noise of the grave diggers who are burying God? God is dead. God remains dead, and we have killed him. How shall we, murderers of all murderers, console ourselves? What festivals of atonement, what sacred games shall we need to invent? Is not the greatness of the deed too great for us? Must we not ourselves become gods simply to be worthy of it? So Nietzsche called it a century and a half ago. Now, in these days just following the birthday of Jesus Christ, it seems like the right time to notice those that genuinely seem to think they have indeed become gods. and that therefore they have authority over our lives and death. They are so wrong. Poor, deluded fools that they are. Their tragedy is that they think they know how and when the game ends. That when they unleash whatever catastrophe, and in the midst of the ensuing chaos seek to make the final grab for all they want, that all of us will just accept defeat as though we were the losers in the ultimate game of Monopoly. But the tragedy of those believing that they are the winners about to take all is that they have put themselves in mortal danger. Because while they think it doesn't matter that we can see them, that it doesn't matter that they're just making up the rules as they go along now, the truth is that it matters very much indeed. Because enough of us know the truth and see the truth and speak the truth. So here's my prediction. 2024 is going to be quite something, and not at all what the anti-human clowns expect.